So I saw an unbelievable shot once that the lips are actually the boundary that separates the human from the outside world. When someone speaks, something that's actually in his mind is actually something that's internal. Once he speaks it out, it becomes out there in the world, and therefore the world gets affected by that. Therefore, we are limited as a human. We should never be able to actually sing praises to Hashem. We should never be able to, as a human, the schus, to be able to learn Hashem's Torah, to discuss His Torah, to say Tehillim, to sing His praises. So we ask Hashem, Sefasai, open up my lips, my limitations, open up me as a human. Ufi yagiti l'secha, and therefore my mouth will therefore be able to have the schus to sing your praises. We know the word sefas means a bank. Sfasai are the banks of a river. Therefore the word sfasayim comes from that word, from the banks of what separates the human being from the outside world. That is the division, like the banks of a river is the division between the water and dry land. The lips are the division between a person's inner soul and what he says out of his mouth that becomes now part of the universe and actually affects the universe. Therefore, Hashem Sefasai, open up my lips, open up the banks of my limitation, my boundaries, ufi yagid, and therefore my mouth, my inner soul, my voice will be able to sing your praises. We need to walk around with the understanding that we are zoicha to be able to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we're zoicha. We should never be allowed. The Chachamim had a question about davening, that how can we just say the words that we have in Tefillah, Keil, Agoda, Agibar. There were big questions, and we shouldn't be allowed to even say those words. But the Chachamim, in their infinite, not just Chachma, but Ruach HaKodesh, came up with the aside of what we are allowed to say, because we can't finish singing the praises of Hashem. How could you just say 10 words, 15 words, whatever it is, in the first bracha of Shemoneh Esrei? We shouldn't be allowed, the Gemara tells us, to even say those words. But the Chachamim, through Ruach HaKodesh, were able to tell us these words are encompassing the greatness, the infiniteness, believe it or not, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, obviously to a certain darga. We're humans, lamaisa, at the end of the day. Therefore, we should never, ever lose sight that it's a schus when we walk into a shul. It's a schus when we open up a Gemara, when we open up a Chumash, when we open up a Navi. It's a schus that a human being that's made out of Afar, Adama, Adam, a human being is made out of the earth, that he should have the schus to be able to open his mouth and daven and pray and thank Hashem and talk to Hashem. What a schus, what a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we should all be zeicher to appreciate the gift and use it correctly.